what members are actually saying. So that's my interest in this whole program.
Thanks, Duncan. Yeah, so I'm Jo. I'm the Senior Marketing Manager at ClubWise. We provide an all-in-one club management solution for independent owner-operators in the UK. I've been working in the fitness and wellness industry for almost 10 years now. It's an industry I'm very passionate about. And my main role at ClubWise is to support clubs with educational support and resources, just to ensure they get the most out of ClubWise and can utilise the features and benefits designed to improve, operational efficiencies and improve retention and engagement. So that's me. I'm also a bit of a keen statistician. I love spending my time analysing club data from the system and sharing my findings with the industry to help inform success strategies. I have actually published a report recently around fitness club recovery post-COVID. So if anyone would like a copy, just let me know and I'll send it across to you after the webinar. Okay, so intro's done. Let's move on to the reason you are here and talk member feedback. So these are the areas we're going to be covering off this morning. So why member feedback is important, the influences of satisfaction, understanding the importance of internal motivation and external motivation, member satisfaction versus member loyalty, and understanding the 3 areas of attachment. So in brief, so why is member feedback important? So essentially, member feedback takes the guesswork out and it allows you to focus your efforts in the areas that's most needed. I found this statistic really interesting. So 80% of companies believe they're delivering a great customer experience, but actually only 8% of customers agree. So this kind of highlights the importance of being aligned with your members. What you may think is resonating with your members and making them happy, loyal advocates might not actually be contributing much to their experience at all. So it's really interesting it's really important to make sure that you're aligned. So member feedback allows you to measure satisfaction, and we all know that member satisfaction is a major factor in a club's success. Extreme satisfaction then leads on to loyalty. There are lots of statistics out there that say loyalty results in increased revenue, but we'll talk a little bit more on that later. You can also gain valuable information that can help you continuously learn and improve. And it also allows you to identify trends and set measurable objectives with your team. So why now? So member expectations have probably changed post-COVID. I mean, members' primary motivations have probably changed. So it's really important to keep on top of these satisfaction drivers, just to ensure you're still providing the best experience possible for long-term retention and increased loyalty. And on top of that, you've likely just had an influx of new members. Your current members may have returned after a significant time away. Their experience is still fresh, which means they're more willing to actually offer their opinion. And brand new members actually are more likely to recommend friends to the club. So interestingly, loyal long-term members tend not to be the best at referring people. I mean, I don't know if you can confirm that from your experience. Have you sort of looked into which member segments provide the most referrals? I think if you think about it, long-term members are more likely to have exhausted their friends and family list and no longer have people to refer. They've done it all at the beginning. So this is why you're more likely to get referrals from new members. And as you've likely seen, an influx of new members, since you've reopened, now's the perfect time to sense check the experience you're providing to optimize those referrals. So another crucial benefit of gathering member feedback on a regular basis is to identify unhappy members. So who may be at risk of leaving. And Esteban Kolsky, he's a customer strategist, I don't know if you've heard of him, he's a researcher and keynote speaker and basically a customer experience hero. He discovered that only 1 out of 26 unhappy customers actually complain. The rest just leave, which is a scary prospect. It's really important to open that channel of communication with your members and give them a way of feeding back to you about their experience. It's not rocket science. I mean, it's when we think about it, it makes complete sense. So don't just wait for them to come to you. If they're unhappy, it's likely that they won't. They'll just stop coming and won't renew their membership. So by identifying these members before they leave, it gives you an opportunity to re-engage them and fix the issues and retain them for longer. So we all understand why member feedback is important, and we understand the importance of satisfaction and the impact that has on the success of your club. So now we're going to delve a bit deeper, and we're going to look at satisfaction and why it's important that we understand what influences it. So by understanding what influences satisfaction, we can ensure that we ask members the right questions when we're sending out like a feedback survey. So there's really no point sending out a member survey that isn't giving you the insight that you need to continuously improve and ensure you're delivering an experience that's going to cultivate loyalty. So number one, expectation. So member expectations matter. And to do well now and in the future, we need to close the gap between member expectations and the actual member experience. So know what your members' expectations are. It's important to check in with members so you can ask what their experience has been like and what their expectations are. It's really important information to help you improve and help you understand what your members want. So I guess in short, know what your members' expectations are so you can take steps to meet and even exceed those expectations. So, it's really important to all clubs, whether you're a small independent or you're a large multi-site, or franchise. It's important to understand expectation and where expectation comes from. So expectation comes from three different areas. So past experience, have they been a member of a gym before? Was their experience good or bad? Their past experience does set an expectation. If their previous club provided a good experience, your member will expect you to at least match or exceed that experience. Word of mouth reviews, another hugely important facet of this. So is this aligning with what your members are experiencing?
There, that's on the right hand side.
Oh.
Sorry.
There's a go. But yeah, so what about sort of online reviews and things like that? So according to the Drum, 93% of consumers say online reviews impact their purchasing decisions. So it's really important to make sure that your reviews are helping prospects form positive assumptions about what they can expect. Now, marketing is another really important facet of this. So marketing does set the expectation. Are you overselling? Are you underplaying? Are you marketing your strengths and competitive advantages well enough? These are all really important points. And we measure the expectation against the performance. So how it works, if the expectation is less than the performance, that's when you have a satisfied member. So it's really important that we set that expectation correctly. And if we take the exact same situation and the expectation is greater than the performance, that's when we see dissatisfaction. So measure how you're doing against your members' expectations. And you can do this by including questions in your member survey around expectations and whether or not you're meeting them. And to analyse further, you can also include questions that help you identify if a member had expectations based on past experience and word of mouth, allowing you to spot trends as well, particularly around different demographics. And you can really drill down into the data and get a really solid picture. So asking the right questions really can allow you to do that in many different ways. And that's also actually where Momentum Business Development can really help you. They are experts in data analysis around member feedback. So that was expectation. Now let's have a look at the second key influencer of satisfaction, which is motivations. So you may think that a member has joined your club because of your, I don't know, amazing equipment or your funky, well thought out interior. But do you have the data to support that? Do you know for sure that these are the primary motivations for people joining your gym? So knowing the real member motivations is really powerful, and it can result in far more successful and targeted marketing, and ultimately higher customer satisfaction. So it's very common actually that club owners don't have this information and are playing a guessing game. So stop guessing is the ultimate. I mean, a customer survey can allow you to find out what motivated your members to not only join your club, but what motivated them to choose your club, and what motivates them to continue to engage with your club. And these reasons might be really different from what you think they are. So understanding these motivations is really powerful. And a member survey that asks these questions will give you a really powerful insight that can be used to form your ongoing marketing strategies and help you to understand your club's why and competitive advantage. On that note, actually, if you've not seen Simon Sinek's video on finding your why, I would really recommend giving it a watch. It's actually life-changing stuff. So there are two types of motivations to look at: internal motivations and external motivations. We're going to start with internal motivations. So internal motivations are unsurprisingly internal to the individual member. So from a continuous improvement point of view, you really should challenge yourself to try and understand your members' internal motivations. So they come from satisfying various psychological needs. So intangible social, psychological motivations, a desire for escape, time out, self-care, preservation, taking back control of their life, personal growth, and desire to achieve. So find out the internal motivations, and then market your services according to those internal motivations. It's very, very powerful insight. So it's just important to remember that people don't join clubs because of amenities alone. So it's really important to understand that members' internal motivations have probably changed, having just gone through a global pandemic. I mean, I know mine have. There are other things at play now that perhaps were not there before, like mental health, the need to socialize and be part of a community, make friends, the desire to escape and have something for themselves, increased health awareness, another big one. So the list goes on, but you kind of get the idea. It's really important to include questions in your member survey that helps you identify these internal motivations, so you have a strong sense of what's driving members to join your club. And also why members are choosing your club, like I said before. And on top of that, if you can understand what motivates members to continue to engage with your club, you can really start to build a solid picture of which elements of your member experience are resonating and working. And like I said previously, have a good grasp on why members joined your facility and why members continue to engage with your facility. So making sure you ask the right questions to give you the insight you need is crucial. So now we'll just have a look at external motivation. So again, it's still very important, but it's also important to understand that internal motivation happens before external motivation. So, external motivations are things like your amenities, your equipment, where you're located, your price, and your services, etc. So understanding both of these motivations, internal and external, and start to measure why members are joining your club. So we've had expectation, we've covered motivations, and the missing link is value. So, value influences satisfaction. Like I say, it's not rocket science. We're probably completely aware of this, but it's important to understand that members measure value differently. So what factors determine overall value such that a member thinks, I'm satisfied? Value is more than price. There are other factors, and not all members measure value the same way, like I said. So let's look at perceived value and the factors that influence it. So service quality, members will consider service quality, and questions they will be asking themselves is the service at my club good, consistent? Is it friendly? Are the staff helpful and approachable? Can I check in easily? Can I book classes easily? Can I access additional services easily? So that sort of thing. The emotional component, research actually indicates that, not surprisingly, having just gone through the whole motivation piece, that the emotional value is the highest scoring and has the highest impact. The emotional component can be things like, do I enjoy visiting? Do I feel empowered? Do I feel part of a community? Do I feel good about myself for visiting? I mean, it's quite complex, as you can imagine, but you kind of get the idea. Monetary as well. So, do you have a joining fee? What's your monthly fee? Is it worth the money in your members' mind? Reputational as well. So, are members proud to be a member of your club? Does it fit their vibe? Is your brand a reflection of them? Are they proud to be associated with your brand? All of these things impact perceived value. Social as well. So, social approval. Do they have friends in the club? So understanding how your members measure value and asking the right questions can really help you identify that, and in turn will help you create an experience that has high perceived value and creates satisfied members. So to summarize, expectation impacts satisfaction. Is the experience your member receives less than their expectation, or does it match or exceed their expectation? Motivation impacts satisfaction. So if you can understand your members' motivations, you'll have better insight. Are you going after that internal motivation? It's really important. Remember, people don't join clubs because of amenities alone. And value impacts satisfaction. How do your members measure value? So a well-crafted member survey will help you understand satisfaction through the lens of your members, taking these 3 areas into account. So, does satisfaction equal loyalty? So the 2 are different. So, yes and no. So not all satisfied members will go on to become loyal members, but it is important to understand that member satisfaction is a requisite for loyalty. So looking at satisfaction versus loyalty, here we have member satisfaction statements. So we have, so member satisfaction. My overall club experience is positive. My club experience is better than I expected. I'm overall very satisfied with all my experiences at the club. Perfect. Now, member loyalty. No other club provides better services than my club. I intend to renew my membership. I say positive things about my club to other people, and I would recommend my club to friends and family. So would you agree with those statements? I mean, you might be thinking, surely a club full of satisfied members is great. Why do I need to strive for loyalty? Well, let's have a look. So member loyalty allows a club to be more profitable. And a loyal membership base does equal better retention. A 5% increase in retention can increase profitability by 75%, according to research done by Bain & Company. Not only that, loyal customers are more resistant to competitors' price and promotion efforts. They're less expensive to market to. So we've all heard the statement around the cost of acquiring a new customer is anything between 5 and 25 times more expensive than retaining an existing one. They share positive word of mouth, and they are more likely to spend more on additional paid services. So how do members go from being satisfied to being loyal? Now, that is the big question. And it's according to research by Dr. Jim Butler, who earned a PhD in hospitality, I think it was Iowa State University, for his research on member loyalty. He says it all boils down to something called attachment. Now, attachment is essentially a strong bond to your club. And there are 3 key elements of attachment that we're going to go through. So dependence. So the best in terms of facilities, place dependence. So where the club is located. So is it close by? I'm not sure of the exact radius, but it needs to be close enough to be super convenient. Social bonds, so friends, familiarity, events, staff and member relationships, and affect. So a strong sense of belonging, Again, looking at the emotional aspect around progress and results and positive experiences. And so these are the 3 areas of attachment, and attachment is significant to building that loyalty. And being able to measure that attachment is very powerful. So the goal is to drive that attachment and find out from your members why they joined your club, how they measure value, are they satisfied, and what gets them attached, what are their motivations? And then through attachment, we strike loyalty. So I want you to sort of come away from this today having a much more holistic view of what satisfaction is. So we can really understand the many facets that influence satisfaction. And with that holistic view and that insight and knowledge, you can build better experiences that resonate with your membership base. You can understand your club's strengths and weaknesses, identify your USPs and competitive advantages, target your marketing for better results, less wasted spend, which is, really important right now. You can focus your efforts in the right areas when it comes to services, and there are tons more benefits as well. So I'm really hoping you can, really see the value of taking a more holistic approach, and perhaps not seeing it as the traditional NPS satisfaction score, which actually is more of a measure of loyalty than general satisfaction, in my opinion. But I digress. So summary, just to run through what we've discussed. So know what your members' expectations are. Close the gap between member expectations and the actual member experience. Discover what your members' motivations are. Why did they join? What motivates them to continue engaging? Measuring your how members perceive value. So we know that value influences satisfaction. Understanding that value is more than price. And member attachment, that the key to driving loyalty. So that's it from me. And now we're just going to run. I'm going to pass over to Duncan, and we're just going to run through the Momentum Business Development exclusive offer that we have for you.
Thanks, Joanna. That was really interesting, and I hope, like I have, I've just it makes you think. Actually, I should perhaps spend more time just analysing what my customers are wanting from services that we provide, and hopefully you in the club industry will feel the same way. And perhaps today, maybe just go out and speak to some of your new customers, some of your existing customers, maybe even ring some of your ex-customers, and just get a real sort of snapshot about what's going on. In order to give you some sort of strategy you can use going forward, what we'd like to do is to offer you the chance to build a member survey, which we will build free of charge for you and with you, and which you will send out to your customers. Now, working with ClubWise, what we're trying to do is to create a body of research that we can provide as a report to the industry. So what we've done is we've come up with a survey of which 80% of it we have already pre-agreed and thought through, but we also want you club owners to have the opportunity to add your own unique local questions of your service that you want your customers to find out. We'll help you run that survey. We'll build out the documents and the landing pages themselves. We'll help you correspond with your members. We'll analyze the data, provide you with a report, and then hopefully in a sort of quid pro quo for us doing that for you for nothing, and we'd like you to allow us to use the research as part of a big industry-wide body of feedback, so that we can help shape the industry perhaps more towards a more inclusive and sophisticated customer service than perhaps was being offered for the most part right now. So if you're interested in getting involved, then just reach out to us. We will contact you, explain how the survey could be put together, how it would work. It will be completely branded for every single club, so it will look totally unique. And obviously you'll get great insights from your members locally, but also hopefully you'll be able to benchmark your local insights against a bigger, more comprehensive response when we've aggregated all of the research. So that's the opportunity. We don't want you to go to any trouble at all. We'll take all the hard yards will be done from ourselves and ClubWise. The data will be exclusive to you. We won't use the data at all. We won't have access to any databases. But I think, as you've heard from what Joanna said this morning, the benefits of being so much more intuitive with what your members are thinking and requiring is going to give you that commercial and competitive edge going forward. Thanks, Joanna.
Thanks, Duncan. Yeah, I mean, if anyone's got any questions, I'd love to hear them. No, I think we're all good.
So we will reach out to people on the webinar this morning, and so if you decide in the next few days or a couple of weeks that you might want to get involved, then there will be a links on those emails that go out which will hook you up to us, and we can discuss how this thing can unfold and how you can take part.
Brilliant. Thank you, Duncan. And thank you, everybody, for attending. I appreciate you taking some time out of your day today. But I do hope that you were able to get some really valuable takeaways from this, this webinar today. And yeah, I look forward to hopefully catching up with you after this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
How do I?